I'm going to review exactly how you can build a 6-figure business in 7 days. Coming from a 16-year-old entrepreneur who's closed over $50,000 in deals just this year alone, as you can see over there. So let's get into the entire system. So it's going to be split up into 7 different days, and each day has a different target. So day 1 is going to be offer an audience. Day 2 is going to be focused on getting traffic. Day 3 is all about the funnel, so building the funnel out, making sure it's optimized. Day 4 is sales, so getting the sales in, building the sales team, building it the right way. Day 5 is scale, so actually scaling the business further. Day 6 is building at the proper right team. And day 7 is to track and optimize. Then you repeat this over and over again, and you will have yourself a 6-figure business. Now, why should you trust me? Well, as you can see over here, just some client results over here. As you can see, look, client making money, right? I gave him a hack. I literally gave him a software. He got it for, it was like $10, $15. And literally on the exact same day, he got 2 sales. Simply from what I told him. And I'm going to teach you exactly what I told him in this video today. Look, even more down payments. A $200 US down payment for a $5,000 program. Clients are winning. Another low ticket. So he's closed 3 low ticket deals in 1 day. Now bear in mind, like these are like $40, $50. These are like $100 sales, which are then going to be ascended into $500, $600, $1,000+ sales later down the line. Alright, next thing is another mid-ticket deal. So $1,000 mid-ticket deal again. That guy's going to be ascended to the high ticket, which is around $5,000, $6,000. So that's a LTV of around $6,000 cash collected. Look, another 3K sale pushing for $25,000 this month. And it's only the 23rd, so they're probably going to get to 25K. That's my boy Max. Another 6K PIF. Look at that. 6K PIF. Another 6K payment plan. $12,000 made in just 1 single day. This is just one of our clients. Look, closing another mid-ticket deal. $1,000 in another day. Alright? Clients are absolutely crushing it. Sahil generating his first ever client. Inbound leads printing for our clients. He literally launched the story sequence. I gave him the exact sequence, and the next day he launched it. As you can see, look at the inbound leads flowing in. Imagine how many of those guys you can hop on a call with, and then imagine his close rate. It's going to be through the roof because these guys are all warmed up. These guys are all nurtured. These guys are all qualified leads, replying to his story, wanting the freebie, and then they're going to book in a call with him and get closed. Look, Taylor, my boy, making consistent $1,000 days. Look at this. With that ascension funnel, so I talked about the low ticket. I'm going to talk about this today in the scale part, right? Exactly how you can set up a system like what Taylor has over here, where he's making consistent $1,000 days simply from a low ticket workshop. Now, no one on the internet teaches this other than this video, so make sure you watch the entire video. Casper is making $2,000 in a single day. You know, clients printing money while sleeping. This is what you call a real business. And more low ticket sales coming in, $800 low ticket. It's amazing what our clients are doing. Now let's jump into the entire ecosystem, which is like accountable, which is the reason these guys are able to get such good results. So today we're talking about day 1, which is offer an audience. Now what is this comprised of? Well, it's basically just getting ultra clear on your foundations, building your foundations out so that the rest of the 6 days in this challenge, they will complement and build off the foundation. So you have to get really, really strong and clear on this. So just some examples of foundations, and the offer an audience is exactly who you serve, your niche, your tangible offer, and your transformation. If you can find these 4 things out, trust me, you will have a killer offer. So now let's go over exactly how to find that out. So I'm just going to zoom out over here and head all the way over here. So first off, you want to have a niche blueprint. I think you guys already know this, so this is like pretty simple stuff. Let's go over ICP framework. So you guys might be asking, like, why is it good to have just one single ICP? Why not multiple ICPs? Well, first off, it attracts the right people, creates laser focused marketing, boosts sales and conversion, reduces waste time and energy, improves client results, builds a stronger community culture, allows you to price your offer way higher, streamlines your offer creation, enhances your brand identity, and just drives way more referrals. Now, these are just some of the benefits. Now let's go over the actual phase. So again, just remember, the more time and depth you spend on the ICP phase, the more money you're going to make. So again, all of this stuff I'm telling you, put this on a doc, answer the questions in depth. The more depth, the more money you can make later. And you want to be able to think like your ICP, because once you're doing that, once you can consistently do that, it's game over. It's literally game over for everyone. So again, if you want access to all these worksheets, just hit me up on Instagram, first link in the description. So let's get into these questions. So you're going to design your customer avatar. Who do you want to sell to? So first off, list out what are 5 to 10 of this guy's pain points. What are 5 to 10 pain points they're experiencing? Now with those pain points, what are 5 to 10 problems that those pain points are associated with? And then what are 5 to 10 desires of this person? Now you can do this by hopping on 5 to 10 calls, recording the calls using Fathom or Loom, and then you want to put the transcript of the call into ChatGPT or some sort of AI, which can then answer these questions in a bit more detail, and then you can refine your answers. Now you want to clarify each type of person your customer avatar is. So their age, their gender, occupations, interests, qualities, and what transformation they want to make. Now this is really, really important, what transformation they want to make. Because if you can find out where they want to get to, well, your solution is basically going to be the bridge to how they get there. Because transformation equals current state to desired state. Now, once you've done that, now you want to clearly define each one of these for your market. So what's their current state? What's the problem stopping them from getting there? And what's the desired state? Once you've successfully done that, put that into a sentence. And that is going to be your ICP statement. Now, again, leverage AI for this as much as possible. Like I told you, hop on calls, put the transcript into AI, and it's going to give you a well-written response. Now let's go over offer alchemy. So actually building out your entire offer. So just some benefits of a no-brainer offer is that it instantly grabs attention, converts cold leads faster, massively builds trust, lowers buyers' resistance, fills your pipeline, increases perceived value of your brand, creates easy upsell opportunities, helps you stand out in a crowded market, boosts word of mouth referrals, and accelerates your path to $10,000 a month by tenfold. So let's actually build your offer right now. Now this is going to take some time, 100%, but it's going to be worth the time. So again, put all of this on a doc. This is part 1 of building an insane offer. We're going to be going in depth, and I know people that charge thousands and thousands for this, and I'm giving it to you guys for completely free. So the first one is, how can you help them make the transformation? So again, in the ICP, we found out the transformation they were making. Now we want to find out exactly how you can help them make that transformation. Once you've done that, go a bit more deeper into their current state, who exactly they are, what their living standards are like, what their thoughts are, what are their gains, so their desired situation, what is stopping them from escaping their desired current state and getting them to their desired state. Because once you can find this out, then you can nail it down on a sales call. What assumptions are they making, keeping them stuck? So what beliefs, what doubts are they having inside their head? What limiting beliefs are inside their head, which is stopping them from scaling? Another thing is, what do they not like about the current options available to them? Now, once you've done that, then you can put that into a sentence, and that is going to be your optimized offer. That is that done. Now let's move on to part 2 of building the offer out. So step 4 is to establish your methodology. So your methodology is basically the steps the client needs to take to achieve the end outcome. So for example, the step 0 to all the way to step 10, what exactly the steps they need, and try and keep it as simple as possible, but as concise and as dense as possible. Now again, do it in complete detail, find out what are the most important items, what are the least important, and then ask yourself, can the least important steps be removed while still achieving the outcome? Because you want to keep this very, very simple. Now, just the last question, can these steps be understood by a 10-year-old? If not, you got to make them simpler. Now, step 5, this is arguably one of the most important parts of creating an offer, is creating factors of value. Now, factors of value basically explain your methodology, how it works, and why the person should execute, why you should be the person to help them execute on it. Because anyone can compete with like our offer, right? That's how you do it, that's what matters. So for example, make 200 cold calls a day. The problem is, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. So you want to create factors of value, which is going to invert that. So instead of I don't want to make calls, we'll source qualified pay-per-call cold callers. So I want you to do this for every single one doubt which your ICP has. As you can see, that is factors of value. Now, next thing you want to do over here is polarize. So you want to find out who exactly the offer is and who it's not for, because you can't help everyone in the market. Next is the ultimatum. So obviously list out the best and worst case scenario for someone taking up on your offer. 9th is packaging, so basically making your offer sound better than it actually is. So basically, instead of you saying I'm selling a video course or 5 one-to-one coaching calls, you want to package it in a way which appeals to your ICP. And then step 10 is pricing. So again, we'll go to that deeper into this video. Just a quick overview. Make sure you're charging more than $5,000. So this is probably one of the most in-depth offer training you've ever received. Now it's up to you. Get all these questions, put them on a Google Doc, go and answer them for yourself. Now let's go back to building the 6-figure business, the entire ecosystem over here. That is offer done. So now what else needs to be done? Well, we need to set up your IG ecosystem. So later in this video, if you scroll across the chapters, you will see There'll be a video on exactly how to set up your IG ecosystem. If not, I'll probably just link it above or link it down below. Go check my channel out. We just built the high ticket offer out, social proof optimization. That's going to be part of setting up your IG ecosystem, a market ready service, and just make sure everything's ready. Market validation, that's all done through ICP research. Getting that team set up in the ecosystem, that's all done in day 5 and 6. Pricing structure, make sure you're charging above $5,000. Fundamental systems and messaging mastery. Now, messaging mastery is arguably one of the most important things, especially later down in the business when you're creating content. Now, what happens over here is you want to find out the main beliefs you hold. The main beliefs you hold that separates you from the market. Because obviously your program can be similar to everyone else's, but your messaging is the main differentiator. So find out 5 signature stories you've had that shape your experiences, 5 common beliefs you hold. For example, charging less or low ticket equals broke. I want you to talk about that in your content. Have 5 clear messages you want to convey to your audience and just convey that in all your content. And the end goal of this is that you've built such a high ticket offer, you've run your messaging and your content ecosystem, so that way you can be ready for the launch in day 2. But now let's cover inbound marketing. So obviously we're not going to be starting to create content. We're just going to get a clear overview of what exactly we're going to be doing. So inbound marketing. Now what is this? Isn't this the same as outbound? Well, no, inbound is basically when people come to you. This is content marketing. You want to create content that triggers conversations. An example of this is YouTube content, Instagram content, X content, LinkedIn content, right? And you probably will say, oh, well, probably know that. Or did you know this? Authority posts, polarizing opinions, value bombs. You want to implement these 3 things in your content if you really want to make the most amount of money. Now, even if you already knew these things, do you know how to implement it? You probably don't, right? So I'm going to cover this in the next couple of days. Now, the rule of thumb is, in terms of content, it's not about going viral. It's about getting 5+ DMs every single week from qualified leads minimum. And that is exactly what this entire ecosystem is going to help you set up. So that way you can cash collect $50,000 the next 120 days. Now, that is day 1 done. Now let's move on to day 2, which is all about traffic. Okay, so now we're on to day 2 of building a 6-figure business in 7 days. So if I go into day 2, well, the whole point of day 2 is to actually start generating more traffic into your business, because as you guys may know, traffic is the lifeblood of any business. If you have no traffic coming in, you're not going to get any sales at all. Right, so let's get into exactly how we can start getting traffic. And the first thing we're going to cover is inbound acquisition. Now, inbound acquisition is basically, instead of doing outbound where you reach out to people, people are going to be reaching out to you as a byproduct of you creating some sort of content online. Okay, so now let's move into it. So first thing is you want to use school groups for your target market. Now, how can you leverage this? So first off, I want you to join 5 to 10 school communities within your niche. I want you to provide free value. And yes, I mean free value, right? Free game. And this is going to help you just get more leads into your business. And then what you want to do is you want to comment using Looms and providing a CTAs to DM you. Now, what this basically means is you're going to provide free value. People are going to be like, yo, thank you so much. Or they might ask a question like, how did you do this? How did you implement this? And that is the perfect situation, because then you can record a Loom like exactly what I'm doing right now, except this is for a YouTube video, and answer this question, break it down, and then at the end of the Loom, provide them with a CTA to DM you, because again, the owner's not going to care, because no school community owner is going to be bothered to read or bothered to watch a 5-minute Loom video, right? That is exactly when you provide the CTA, and bam, that's people going to be DMing you instantly. And once again, when they start to DM you, you want to pre-qualify them, and you can pre-qualifying them using an easy ass setting flow, right? So first thing, again, you want to have a free school community as well, so you can funnel them into your free school community. Okay. Now, one thing again is just like store engaged leads. So store all engaged lead information on a CRM or a nurturing appointment booking system. So you can have it in a school community, you can have it in a Discord community, you can even have it on some sort of Google Sheet automation, right? Just make sure you guys are storing the leads informations. Now, next thing, again, just drive traffic to your free school community. Now, if you can do this successfully, you're going to drive a bunch of traffic to your free school community. Now, the next thing is, once school groups is done, now let's move on to actually leveraging an email list for engaged leads, right? Because email lists are very, very powerful. It's just underrated. Like, no one in the info space, online coaching spaces, they're not doing it anymore. They're like, oh, it's dead, but it's not dead. You got to do it the right way. And the right way is basically running remarketing campaigns for leads through paid and inbound acquisition. So all these guys that you're getting to DM you into your free school community, you're storing them, store them, yes, inside your free school community, get their email and put them inside your newsletter. Now you can nurture them back and forth, right? Now, what you're doing now is you're creating touch points, and the more touch points you can create, again, leveraging the 7-11 rule, which states if a viewer has gotten 7 hours of watch time or 7 hours worth of consuming content of you across 11 different touch points and 4 different platforms, they're going to be a buyer. So this is exactly how we're leveraging the 7-11 rule. Now, the next thing is, again, in the email list, you want to provide free value and social proof in the email. So what I would like to do is I would lead with social proof, saying this is exactly how Aaron went from $2,000 to $27,000 a month. He was stuck at $2,000 a month, struggling with this, and this. And you want to make sure it actually resonates with your ICP, because if it resonates, that's going to be a double close. And then once that's done, you want to break down the exact system you used. Don't go in too much value. Just give like surface level insight, surface level beliefs, shift their beliefs as well, because that way they're going to think like they're getting value, but it's just reframing their beliefs, right? And then the next thing is now you want to incentivize them to book in a call, because they've gotten so much value through, again, free school community and email list. Now they literally have to book in a call with you, okay? Now let's move on to actually leveraging YouTube channel for your target market, because YouTube is a very, very powerful platform, which if used correctly, you can literally print leads. And this is exactly why I'm going all in on YouTube. I'm posting 3 to 4 times high quality videos every single week. Go check my channel out, right? And the reason I'm doing it is because it's a long-term game, and it's going to bring me a bunch of leads. It's going to build up my brand, and in the long run, it's actually going to help me make so much more money. So what I want you to stick with, especially if you're creating educational content, post 4 long form pieces of content every single week. If you can do that every single week, week in, week out, for 3 to 6 months, you're going to be seeing incredible results. You're going to see, you might get less views at the start, but it's going to start to pick up and up and up and up. And you're going to get the people to book in a call with you or follow you on Instagram. Depends on whatever your CTA actually is. All right. Next thing is you just want to provide free value. Way, way better than your competitors. Like what I'm doing right now, I'm actually telling you guys to provide free value, right? All of this stuff, this is all free value. And you want to make sure it's better than your competitors. So go and watch your competitors' YouTube channel. See, analyze them, exactly what they're doing, and exactly find out a way or brainstorm a way on how you can provide better value than them. And the next thing is, again, once you've done that in your YouTube CTA, I want you to drive traffic either to a free community or to a book in a call page, right? I'm not running a free school community right now. I'm actually past that phase, because people think running a school community, you can be running a school community for years and years. And that's just not the thing. That I've seen it from years of experience of being on school. People that are running free communities, they're maxed on there for 6 to 7 months. And you have to make sure for the first 6 to 7 months you are running a free community, you are maximizing the hell out of it, getting a lot of traffic in and converting that traffic into people booking a call with you. So that's exactly what I'll do. Now I'll use basically Instagram for my free school, not my free school, but just my free community overall, or a book in a call page. And then the next thing is, on your YouTube, this is really, really important. On YouTube, you want to showcase social proof, case studies, and testimonials. Now, how did I do that in this video? Well, if you can see over here, I have all these case studies over here. These are all massive case studies, and it's just like way, way better, strong testimonials, right? And if you look at some videos on my YouTube channel, I literally title them, here's exactly how Aaron went from 2 to 27K a month. Here's how Brian went from 0 to 7.2K deal on a day. Right? That's exactly how you lead with social proof. And at the start of every single video, you want to go straight into proof. Show some testimonials, show us some screenshots, right, of you making money, show us some screenshots of your client getting results. And that way, you're going to be an instant credibility figure. You're going to be an instant authority figure. People are going to place you. You're going to see you above them, because you're getting yourself and your clients good results. And therefore, people are going to trust you. Right? And then the next thing is to acquire new employees, right? And this is inbound through content. So you can get setters, VAs, and closers. So again, content's a really good way of actually acquiring new employees as well, right? Because you're creating content, people want to work with you, and they sense the opportunity, they're going to reach out to you. Then that's a potential employee right there, right? And again, if you have setters and closers and VAs in your business, it's going to double the amount of work you can get done. It's going to double the amount of content you can produce. And what this does is, again, improves the appointment booking flow, right? You're going to get higher quality leads, and it's going to do it on autopilot consistently, right? So if you're consistently posting content, you're going to be booking calls on autopilot, right? And now what you can do is you can repurpose your long form content into short form content to increase exposure and awareness. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that, right? So let's go over short form content for target market, right? Because short form content is very underutilized, especially in the info coaching space. But if used correctly, it's going to be absolutely banger. So I want you to repurpose long form content into unique short form content posted on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or TikTok. I would highly recommend just do it on TikTok and Instagram Reels. Keep YouTube for just the long term. Now what you can do is then repurpose long form content again onto Instagram Reels, one every single day, and then do the exact same thing on TikTok. This is only if you're creating talking head videos. If you're creating videos like Mario Board videos like these, what you have to do is you want to record an entire new video, but use the exact same Mario Board, just go into like less depth. You know what I mean? So that is inbound acquisition done. I just cross that off. That is inbound acquisition done. Now let's go over the power of making content. Because if you guys just don't see the power of making content right now, well, you guys are just truly stuck, right? I want you to start making content right now. And the reason I'm saying that is because these guys are the school games winners, right? Look at the amount of money they make in that single month. 200K, 150K, 150K, 140, 140, 100K, right? All these guys making above 100K a month. What is one similarity they have, right? What is one thing they all have in common? It's that they're posting content. So what does this mean? Well, it means that if these guys making over $150,000, $200,000 a month are making content, you have to be making content as well if you want to get past that number. So just even more proof over here. Look at Keychon, right? 343,000 followers. He's making 200K a month. He made that in one single month. Stop it, mind you. 60K, right? That's Max Pearson. Anthony Sirius, 140K MRR. Right? Kenneth Smith, 101,000. Stephen Pope, 90K MRR with 40,000 subscribers. And this just shows you the power of creating content. So you have to be creating content right now. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck behind, or you're going to have a really, really tough time scaling or sustaining your brand in the long run. Right, so how can we now start to build our brand up aside from posting content, right? Or from posting content. So I want you to leverage something called micro market visibility. Now, what is micro market visibility? Well, it's basically the entire point is to not go viral. It's very funny. I'm saying you not to go viral. And the reason I'm saying it is because what you're doing is you're designing an ecosystem that attracts and nurtures leads without you having to go to them. So they're going to chase you instead of you chasing them. And that's just going to work amazing for your brand in the long run because you're going to have an influx of leads and you're never going to run out of leads. Now, what does this mean? It means showing up every single day, creating content every single day, but not to go viral in specific ecosystems, which your ICP is already in, not mass markets, specific curated communities or content threads, niche platforms and groups, right? And all of this equals engaged viewers because these are niche specific people you're targeting, not just any random people. Right? Now, how can you find these content or how can you promote yourself in, micro market visibility? Well, this is through the golden trifecta. Now, what is the golden trifecta? Well, it's school, WAP, and Discord, right? This is the golden trifecta of communities. And if you can leverage all of these three combined, you're going to be making absolute bank. Okay, so how can you implement this into your business? Well, there's 3 advanced tactics, which I made myself, which you can leverage into your business. And the first one is comment hijack. Then we have content triangulation and mini zooms. Now, this is not something that anyone else in the entire market is teaching. And that's why I'm giving you guys all this for free, right? Trying to give you guys free value better than your competitors. So let's go into the entire document here. If we open this up. Okay, now this is opening up. So let's go over all these 3 strategies. So the first one is comment hijack. So let's go over this one. All right, now what is comment hijack? Well, the first main thing is you want to identify your target. So I want you to pick 3 to 5 creators your ICP follows, right? This could be agency, consultants, SaaS coaches. That's just an example. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to monitor their feeds through either Feedly, school notifications, or Discord thread alerts. Now, once you've done that, now I want you to use rapid response. So within 5 minutes of their new post, I want you to drop a 1 to 2 sentence, right? So when I switch, give them a bit of value, right? So when I switch from cold DMs to funnels, I check my bookings, and then I want you to give them a specific tactic at the end. So here's the template I can use, just giving it to you for free. Or don't just say that, giving it to you for free, and then have a DM, right? So say, DM me if you want this exact thing, or comment this certain keyword if you want this exact thing. Now, once you can get that, people are going to start replying to it. They're going to start to see, I want this, I want this, I want this. I want you to screenshot that and recycle that. So I want you to turn this into image carousels or short clips for your own content rotation. For example, here's how I use this DM strategy to get XYZ. Comment the word whatever, to get access to this. And you can start to reuse it based on the highest levels of engagement. And then you can even turn it into long form pieces of content, right? Now, advanced implementation. So we're going to go over the roots to the core platform. So first off, it is detection. So what is the root inside? Well, it's being the first to add value. It's going to cement your authority, right? You're going to be the authority. So school groups, just join key groups, enable push email alerts, Discord, join niche service, activate thread notifications. Right, now let's give a value story. So the main thing is you want to have a relatable mini story that's bigger than generic advice, because everyone or anyone can give generic advice. You want to go above and beyond and provide a relatable mini story and just give a bunch of value. So for school, you can use a story post format or just give a bunch of value and then provide a story at the start. And for Discord, quote the post in your reply for instant context. Now, tactical nugget is the next kind of post you can make or the next kind of comment. And this is basically one actionable takeaway, which is going to drive curiosity. So attach a PDF or link to the resources. And in Discord, you can embed a template or snippet directly in your message. Now, soft CTA. This is a low pressure CTA that's going to invite viewers to, convert at a 20-30% conversion rate, which is pretty good actually. For school community, link a free school community event or exclusive modules. For Discord, invite responders to a private channel or DM list. And then finally, proof recycling. So social proof is going to multiply further engagement. So pin top replies. I want you to auto archive screenshots in your Discord channel and then with channel using a bot. Alright, that is comment hijacking. It's a really, really powerful strategy. And if you can use it, you're going to make a lot of money. Now, the next thing is content triangulation. So I want you to pick one core problem, which could be booking inconsistent calls. And then I want you to create that in 3 different formats. The first format is a text post, then you have a talking head video, and then you have a screen video. So text post is basically breaking down your solution. You can post this on school, post it on Reddit, LinkedIn, Twitter, any platform where you can post text-based content. Then you have a talking head video. So basically a 60-second clip of you basically going through the key strategies. Now you can post it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. And then a screen walkthrough, so a 3 to 10 minute Loom video, basically going through your entire DM funnel setup. So again, you could post it on school, Discord, YouTube is the best one for this. And then I want you to again distribute it inside your ecosystem. So school, text native feed post, video directly uploaded to the course feed, and screen record it, pin it in the resources module. So for Discord, text it in like a hashtag growth tips or whatever, embed a YouTube video in like YouTube content and screen recording like wins or resources, and then engagement loops. So I want you to end each format with one question, just an open-ended question, which is going to invite a response from the viewer. And then I want you to personally reply to every single comment / tag response, which is going to improve engagement. Now, advanced implementation of this. So first off, signal consistency. So repetition across formats is going to cement your authority. So in school, batch schedule all 3 pieces of content in one single day. Discord, use a posting bot to order publish these across channels. Anchor problems to signature solutions. So always tie this back to the lead method, which I'm going to talk about in another video. School, brand each post with a lead badge or tag, and Discord, create a custom role, e.g. lead expert, to highlight your entire post. And then pin and persist. So evergreen access drives long-tail engagement. Add them to the pin modules for newcomers and keep a pinned announcement in resources. And the next thing is cross-pollination. So I want you to drive your audience through all 3 formats, link the text post to video and the Loom, so that way they're getting nurtured even more. And in your video post, pin a comment linking back to the text thread. And then data capture and optimization. So know which format converts best. Use built-in analytics to track views, comments, and click-throughs, and then employ an analytics bot to log reactions and link clicks. So that is content triangulation. Now let's move on to mini zooms. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to define a razor focus. So for example, it could be book 5 calls a week with this DM framework. Then I want you to craft a scarce invite. So live Zoom for 5 coaches this Thursday at 7 p.m. AST. Learn my 3-step loop, right? Comment, I'm in for the link. Now, use the events feature. You can use it for school, and you can use the leverage calendar plugin or simply post it in hashtag events in Discord. Then I want you to deliver high impact content. It's just 30 minutes in total. So 10 minutes of you teaching your core DM loop, 10-minute live Q&A, and 10-minute wrap with a clear next step offer, right? Then I want you to have a hyper personal follow-up within 24 hours, DM each attendee referencing something they said, plus your custom Loom tip. Now, advanced implementation, so scarcity and urgency. I say this is limited spots for fast decisions. School, live update participants count, show 1 spot left, and Discord, use a hashtag limited seats channel, order close registrations when full. Now, precision messaging. Make sure the messaging is crystal clear. So have a specific outcome. It's going to equal high intent RSVP. in school, title the event DM booking loop 5 to 30 calls in 7 days. Discord, pin the event with a live countdown. A structured agenda. So I want you to have a clear roadmap. It's going to reduce drop off. School post slide deck in event description, and Discord share the agenda in the thread and update it in real time. Personalization at scale. So the route is, I want you to have personalized follow-ups, which is going to skyrocket conversion. School, use DM templates with mode tags, and then in Discord, use an automate post session DM through a bot triggered by attendance. And then finally, asset recycling. So now you can recycle these live sessions to become lead magnets. School, you can upload them to your resources, and Discord, clip up the highlights and post them in the hashtag highlight section with the timestamp. So that is the exact 3 advanced steps which you can use to drive even more traffic and start to convert them. So that is content. Now let's move on to the next step. So the first thing is, you need to understand there are only 4 channels of customer, client, and acquisition, right? And these are paid advertising, outreaches could be cold, hot, warm, sphere of influence and referrals, and organic content, right? Now with outreach, you can, with outreach, you can reach up to 100 people and get 1,000 in return, right? With paid advertising, you can pay an X amount of money and get X amount of attention and X amount of profit. Now with both of these acquisition channels, you're basically sacrificing resources, which is time, energy, or money in return for something else, which is attention, leads, appointments, and clients. Now referrals and organic content is a whole lot different to paid advertising and outreach, right? Because with referrals and organic content, you can create acquisition loops. That's exactly what I like to call it, acquisition loops. Let me just highlight that over here. This is because with one referral, you can turn 1 client into 3 clients, and those 3 clients into 9 new clients, right? And this is all of you, this is you not doing any work at all, but getting 3 extra clients in return. Simply because you're providing such a good service and people are going to refer you, right? And then with organic content, you can turn 1 video into X amount of new clients consistently over time as you gain more attention without you doing anything other than posting 1 video. Like this one could generate me like a $6,000 client, right? So I'm getting insane return on this. So you need to understand, with outreach and paid ads, you start to see diminishing returns, but with referrals and organic content, they're going to give you infinite returns. And that is why focusing on organic content and providing free value in your videos is going to add status to people, because when they share it, it's going to bring returns and referrals to your business like nothing else can ever do. Now, if your goal is to maximize profits in your business, then you need to be investing in content, right? Because with all of the explanation and value stacking about organic content out of the way, I'm going to show you exactly how guys like Alex and Mosey are using content to grow an audience and increase their profits, right? Because if you want to be in business for the next 5 years, you literally need content. And you understand this. This was just a case study done, right? After watching a video, 64% of users are more likely to buy a product online, right? And companies using videos enjoy 40% more web traffic from search than non-users. Again, credible studies, as you can see here, HubSpot and Small Business Trends. Right. Now let's go over webinars for driving traffic. So there's 3 different ways of doing webinars. So first is a free community, then you have other communities, and then you have ads plus content strategy. So free community one is, I want you to run a webinar 2 times a week in your free community, mix the content up every single week. It could be to book a 1-to-1 free value call, and then have a CTA where 3 days after they watch the recording, 3 days before they watch the recording, and then promote it, and then delete the recording afterwards, right? And you want to recycle that over and over again. Now, how can you leverage other communities? Well, first off, show up every single day in desired communities, connect with the owner of the community, give them a good incentive, 20 to 40% commission for every sale you get from their community, prepare the massive 2-hour webinar, then you want to host a webinar, and you want to have a CTA to join your free school community, and then CTA to join your school community, or basically booking a call with you. And the worst case is they're basically getting nurtured, right? Now let's go over ads and a content strategy. So as you can see over here, you want to build a landing page out where people can get redirected to for a webinar opt-in, right? I can see email cards, he has that over here. And spread the link of the landing page all over your social media channels, right? Now what you want to do is you want to collect email plus phone number of prospects. You want to spam email list with that link, send a shit ton of webinar reminders, and then host the webinar. And on top of spam the email list, you want to, as you can see, give consistent reminders so people can actually show up to the webinar, and the more people that show up, the more clients you're going to get. Now we go all the way back here. This is the exact strategy on how you can run the webinar. All right, very, very simple. And that is the entire strategy done. So that is exactly how you can start to drive traffic in your business. And that is day 2 done of building a 6-figure business in 7 days. Okay, so welcome to day 3 of building a six-figure business in just 7 days. So in days 1 to 2, we covered traffic and then we covered offering audiences was inbound. Okay, so if you haven't watched those videos, go watch them right now and then move on to day 3. Because again, this is not going to work if you haven't watched the first 2 days. Okay, this is all working in flow, this is all working in synchrony. So day 3 is on the funnel. So now let's go over the ascension funnel. So some of you guys might know about this, some of you guys might not know about it. So let me just run you guys through the entire thing. So you need to understand that without an ascension funnel, your growth is going to be capped. I just don't understand that because without something to ascend, like without the next thing to buy, without giving your customers, your leads, another thing to buy, another thing to buy, another thing to buy, they're just going to stop buying, right? And you don't want that to happen. You want your customers to keep on buying from you, therefore increasing your AOV or client LTV. Right? And an easy way we can do this is by building a low ticket plus a free offer that complements the high ticket. Okay. Now, an example of this is you could open up a free school community. Like I'm just going to show you guys right now. You guys can use school. It's very cheap. You can start a school community for like $9 a month. You can start some sort of community. Let me just show you an example of what I had in the past. I've obviously stopped running this community, but as you can see over here, we'll just open this. This is Traffic University, right? Let me just sack this. So I had 560 members. I ran it for a couple of months and I've archived it obviously because I've gone through all the leads and I've found out a better funnel than this. But yeah, that's just like an ascension funnel. Like we get members in the free community and then I got them straight into the high ticket. But what I started doing after was I built a workshop out, a traffic accelerator workshop. Right now, if I click on edit, it was $37 and I got a bunch of people to join that workshop. So let's say people didn't want to join my high ticket straight away. They could join the free community, then they could join the workshop, and then from the workshop would join my high ticket process. That's an ascension funnel that complements itself. And the good thing is it's entirely automated because once you set it up the right way, it's completely automated. And the whole goal of this is like, let's say you have Instagram, YouTube. You're probably only going to sell to 5% of the audience when you're selling a high ticket offer. What you want to do with the ascension funnel is to sell to at least 90% of your audience. I'll say maximum 90% of your audience, at least 60%, because that way you're increasing the amount of money you can make. And look, if someone doesn't buy your high ticket from your low ticket or mid ticket, it's completely fine. You still got them nurtured, you still got someone through the door, you still got some cash in the business. So what do you want to do after you drop the high ticket launch, which we did over there? Well, you want to use social proof and authority infrastructure. So you want to do this across all social media platforms. You want to have a feedback loop to build momentum. So again, I'm going to show you that later in the video. Build a low ticket plus a free school community. Very simple to do on school. And the whole point of this is to again capture more leads so you can then nurture and upsell them to the high ticket. What this is going to do is it's going to help you design the ascension funnel end to end and make sure the entire system is automated, as well as a very masterfully crafted waitlist system. So what you want to do is, let's say you're running a low ticket workshop. You want to open it for 2 weeks, close it for 2 weeks, okay? And then people can access a waitlist in those 2 weeks that's closed. That way you're fueling demand. You know people are going to join straight away. And in the 2 weeks it's closed, your whole goal is to ascend members already in the workshop. So that way you have a new batch coming in every single 2-3 weeks. And the whole goal of this is to build monthly recurring income plus a community of people that are wanting to buy a high ticket and low ticket right now. And as you can see, just some results of that over here, like Ismail closing consistent low ticket deals, Taylor Overton printing money from the ascension funnel, right? This is from a couple months ago. This one. And then he had consistent $1,000 days simply from the entire thing. So that is the ascension funnel part of the thing done. Now let's go over the Instagram story sequence and how you can leverage Instagram story sequences to actually print you a fuck ton of money. Let's get straight into it. So as you can see, first story is very blurry, just mind that. I put it on something else. So as you can see, client went from 2 to 27K in less than a month, and then a screenshot there. This was using our proven systems. You see, this isn't just luck, it's a proven system, right? This is indoctrinating the belief in their head that our client went from this to this, again, showing a client transformation journey. Now, you want to go over the problems that, like what the problem the client was facing beforehand. So the problem at 2K a month, inconsistent leads, low ticket client addiction, trading time for money, no predictable system. And does this sound familiar? I've seen it 100 times. And this is trying to resonate with your audience because this is most likely your audience doing these kind of things. You want to call them out for that. And that's the reason they're stuck. And that's the reason why Aaron was stuck at 2K a month. Now we move all the way to 27K a month. Here's what we implemented. Go over exactly what you implemented. And then what happened 90 days later was 27K months. Now, that belief is indoctrinated inside your viewers' heads. Now, what you want to do is this is a perfect time for a CTA. So in my case, I did a YouTube video CTA. In your case, you could be doing a free community CTA, a low ticket workshop CTA. So what I said was I recorded an entire free breakdown revealing the system in detail. Reply to the story with the word video and I'll send it over. As you can see, someone replied with the word video and I just sent them over the video. And this video has like over 200 views now, right? Simply because this one strategy. Now, again, you can use this framework and fundamental in a lot of different situations. So you can say, reply to the story with the word workshop, and I'll send you more information. Now you can send this person a link to the workshop, and then they will join the workshop. Vice versa, you can do the exact same thing for free school community. So this is an amazing, amazing way to actually start getting more demand for your services, more members in your free community, and an easy way to actually start to upsell them. I'm going to reveal to you the $0 to $30,000 a month high ticket launch strategy. And this is the exact strategy that allowed me to close 30,000 in deals in just 2 months as a 16-year-old entrepreneur and print some of my clients insane results like these over here. As you can see, $1,000 pays for Taylor, right? Consistent $5,000 sales. So let's go over the entire ecosystem, right? So this is the $0 to $30,000 a month high ticket launch strategy. So the overview. So this consists of 3 different sequences, right? It's a market validation sequence, a hype sequence, and then a launch sequence. Now, I want you to understand you only need 3 sequences to make 30K every single month with an IG launch, hands down. You don't need anything more. You don't need anything less. If you just follow everything I lay out to you in this video, I guarantee you, you will make $30,000. So let's go over the first sequence, which is the market validation sequence. Now, the whole goal of this is so you can lock in real demand, you can refine your messaging, and you can secure committed buyers. So what's the first step? Well, the first step is to use multi-format polls. So for example, put up an Instagram poll, and the text of that could be, which one of these challenges keeps you awake at night? Which one of these sleep challenges keeps you awake at night? You know, what time do you go to sleep? Right? This is an example for a sleep performance coach. But that's just the idea. And then you want to have 3 to 4 different options, which your viewers, ICP, whatever, they can click on. And then you can see who clicked on who, right? Amazing. So you can use these, I would say, 3 to 4 a day for 2 days straight. You're going to get some really, really good insight on exactly what the market wants. Right. Obviously, like, you might already know some of this stuff, like, for example, what time your audience goes to bed, or like what the average sleep score is. But you probably don't know how to run it right. And that's exactly what I said. Something like this 3 to 4 times in a day for 2 days straight. And then you're going to understand what your market wants. You're going to understand what to give to them. So that way, then you can make the best service possible and you can appeal it towards their needs. That's the whole point of this launch. Another example could be, as you can see, every person that votes on the poll, I want you to do this, right? I want you to religiously follow this, because if you do it, I guarantee you will make a bunch of money. So first off, I want you to reach out to them. So for example, let's say someone clicked option A. I want you to reach out to that person that clicked option A, or as many people as possible that clicked option A, and then option B, then option C, then option D. And by the 24 hours of you actually posting that poll, you should have reached out to everyone that's voted. So what I want you to do is I want you to offer them a 15-minute call. Tell them this is like a no-selling, this is market research just to make my service the best it possibly can. I'm not going to sell to you. And what you want to do is you want to ask them pre-qualifying questions just to find out more about your product, what your audience actually wants, what your ICP actually wants. And now if they're genuinely interested, right? Like if you can see from their eyes, if you can see from the words, if you can see from their body language, their facial expressions, that they're actually interested in what you have to offer, I want you to go either one of these 2 routes. So the first one is a soft pre-sale. Now, a soft pre-sale basically means you're not going to do a hard sell. You're just going to say, yo, bro, like, we're just opening this up for you. Would you be down to join? At normal price point, get them in. This is just a soft pre-sale. If they don't want to join, leave them. You can sell them later. And if they do want to join, get them in ASAP. Now, the next route is the early bird offer. Now, this is where you give them some sort of discount or some sort of promotion as like being one of the first people to actually hop on a call with you and actually join the program. So that way then they can help you refine and iterate the program. So you could say, I'm giving you like a 25% discount. I don't usually do this, but since you're like one of the early birds, since I'm just starting this program out, I'm going to give you a 25% discount. You can get in for $2,000 right now. and yeah, you can have lifetime access. That's an example of an early bird offer, and both of these work, okay? It's just about how you actually apply them. Now, once you've done that, obviously, like once you've gone through these sequences, once you're running these polls, once you're hopping on these sort of calls, I want you to collect all the information in some sort of database. So that way you know exactly what people say. Let's say you're asking a pre-qualifying question about your product, would this product be better or would this be better? That's just an example. Whatever they answer, put that in a database. And then what you can do is put that database into ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to extract the insights and make an insane offer out of that, or just find the common gaps. And run the sequence for 4 days. And obviously, like when you do polls, don't just have like text polls. So there's an image in the background and there's a poll. Don't just have that, because that's going to be boring. People are not going to vote anymore. You're going to have a bit of like authenticity to it. So you could have a talking head poll where it's just my phone out. You're talking to the phone about some story you've had or what you're working on, some insane things coming out. And if they want access to it, they just vote on the poll. It just intrigues them, just incentivizes them to vote on the poll, and that's exactly what you want. So that is the market validation sequence covered. And so you run it for 4 to 5 days, and you should have a good understanding of your market. You should have hopped on by 20 to 25 calls by now. And honestly, you could have already sold to 2 to 3 people for like 2-3 grand. So by now, you should have already made like 5-6 grand. Okay, just simply from the market validation sequence. Now let's move on to the hype sequence. Now the whole point of this is so you can turn those lurkers, those people that are just watching your Instagram stories, scrolling by every single day, to turn them up into fired buyers. So how are we going to do that? This is through building up FOMO, social proof, and clarity that this is a one-time opportunity. You have to make your audience understand this is a one-time opportunity. And the way we can do that is by using, first off, the Instagram timing feature, where, for example, you could say over text, something massive is coming out in like 15 days from now. And it's going to help you guys go from X to Y. You'll be able to do X, Y, Z. And you want to mix this up between talking head and text, because some people just prefer reading text and some people prefer watching like a 20-30 second video explaining this stuff. So I want you to have both available for your audience. Now, just some formats of stories you can do for this sequence is a countdown teaser. So for example, something massive launching in X amount of days, you can have the Instagram timing feature there, exactly the entire countdown. You can also do a live Q&A. Now, this is amazing, right? Because your audience is on the edge. They want to know what's coming out, and they're going to have a bunch of questions about it, right? So if they have any questions about it, give them the opportunity to answer those questions. You answer those questions. So for example, you put up a Q&A about big thing launching. People are going to ask you questions like, oh, what's going to be launching, man? Like, is it going to help? Is it going to help agency owners? Is it going to help consultants? I want you to answer like those. Like, is it going to help agency owners? Is it going to help consultants? But when they say what's going to be inside the program, you don't actually want to state what's inside the program. You want to state the benefits, not the features, right? Because if you saw the benefits, they're going to be more likely to get in. You don't want to reveal exactly what's inside. Just show them what the benefits are, and they're going to be more likely to buy. Okay, so forget that. So let's move on, right? So it's all about shifting beliefs, right? You want to shift beliefs, you want to amplify their pain points, and you want to make your audience curious about what you have to offer. Because if you can do those 3 things, shift beliefs, amplify pains, make them curious, you're gonna have an insane amount of buyers. And like I said, you will make more than $30,000 a month. You'll make like $60,000, $70,000 a month. Okay, now the next type of stories you can do is a sneak peek. Now a sneak peek is basically showing your audience, showing your leads what exactly you're making, so behind the scenes content, right? So for example, I can get my phone out and let's say this is a training module for one of my like high ticket offers. This example is a training module. I would take a photo saying, just finished recording a 55-minute module for something I'm releasing in like X amount of days, and I have your timing feature, right? That's behind the scenes. Next thing is transformational stories. And this is basically showing how your client went from point A to point B using a specific framework. So for example, here's how, Taylor went from 0 to $1,000 consistent days. And then you break down the process, you shift the beliefs, you amplify their pains. And then at the end, you want to say, you can too, just gotta wait 10 days, right? And the final thing is free source. So what I want you to do is I want you to give a bit of value, not too much value, and then leave the rest of the steps behind the door. So for example, let's say, this is exactly how you can make money from Instagram Reels. You want to show step 1, but keep step 2, 3, and 4 inside the paid program, and you want to tell those guys, if you want access to the next steps, you got to wait a few days until I launch this. Again, that's going to put them on the edge of their seat. It's going to keep them curious. And yeah, I want you to use the reply to story method as well. So reply to the story with the word free if you want access to the next few steps. And then what you can do is set up ManyChat automations where, for example, ManyChat is like an AI automation which automatically replies to every single word, every single person that sends you a specific keyword which you can set up. They can then tap the icon and then you can enroll them in some sort of waitlist which you can use using Typeform, Google Forms, or fill out, right? So that is the hype sequence. That is building up hype. That is building up curiosity. That is getting a bunch of people into fired up buyers. So when we launch, you're going to be making a shit ton of money. Okay, so now we go into the launch. This is the real saucy part. So the goal of this is to open up the cart. You want to automate outreach. You want to host a live Q&A day, and you want to close out all spots. So you want to have a wait list, and you want to close out all spots. So let's go over the entire sequence. So day one is I want you to flood the best engaged members. So I want you to go live on Instagram. Go live on Instagram and set some sort of AI automation or have like a setter work on your account, and they should reach out to every single person who is DM'd or commented you in the past 7 days, and that's gonna add them to the wait list. Add them to the waitlist, get them in, send some guys a few payment links that are already ready to buy, or just get them on a call, right? And that should be a 15, 20K in deals this year right there. So in total, we should have made like 26K so far. Right. So some key metrics to track is DM open rate, which should be over 70%. A CTR, so click-through rate, should be over 20%. And first hour booking should be just over 20% as well. That's just some key metrics to follow. If it's not on spot, just send me a DM on Instagram and I'll help you out. I check my Instagram out again, first link in the description. Now, day 2 is the AI follow-up sequences. So continue running the story sequences, but now I want you to send follow-ups to all the people that have engaged with your content, okay? You can have a setter or you can have some sort of AI automation do this. Now, day 3 is a live ask day event. Now, this is to remove any final objections and to deliver high-value free training. So it's a live Q&A. And it's a pre-event hype. You're going to show the event and an immediate CTA and then an upsell. You should be collecting at least 10K in both of these days combined. So now you've made a total of $30,000 to $35,000. Now we move on to day 4, which is social proof and scarcity. So now you want to show in your stories your clients winning, transformation stories, how many people are filling up in the spots. Every time someone joins, the payments coming through, right? Made 25K in the last 2 days, boys. Spots are filling up fast, building up scarcity. And then day 5 is closing all doors, and people have to DM you private for late one-to-one access, and you can only let a few people in. Only let like 2 or 3 people in. And now you should have collected $40,000 to $45,000 simply from this one launch strategy. And now you want to close doors. If anyone says they want to join afterwards, don't let them in. Say you got to wait 1 month. Okay, and you want to do this again in an entire month, right? And if you can do this successfully, you will have cash collected minimum, right? Minimum $30,000. I'm saying you guys can make, I would say, $50,000 averaging from this if you can run this like every 3 months. In the second month, third month, you want to run something different, which I can review or break down to you in another video. Or if you can watch the previous video, which was about the ascension funnel. So let's go over the next steps, right? So the follow-up, let me show you guys the follow-up formula. So I want you to understand you have to follow up. Just follow up, because that's literally where the money's at. I know there's many of you guys that are giving up after 1 or 2 messages. You send an outreach DM and people won't respond and you move on, right? And you don't understand. Like, you literally don't understand how much money you're leaving on the table, because if you aren't following up, how are you expecting to make money, right? Because let me just give you an example. You send an outreach message to someone. 95% of the time, they're not going to reply. So you have to follow up. It's an obligation for you to follow up. The prospect is saying, follow up. You just have to do it, okay? So look, they probably just view the message and ignore it, but only 5% are going to reply and, book in a call with you or join your free lead magnet. But the 95% who don't, are you just going to leave that out there on the table? Because that is a huge number. And even if you can convert even 10%, even 5% with follow-ups, that's going to be a massive boost. That's like getting 3 to 4 bookings every single day just from follow-ups. And I see so many people stressing about less leads. I don't have enough leads. I don't have enough leads. Well, you've got hundreds of people who have saw your message and just haven't responded. And that's 4 bookings every single day. That's an extra 120 calls you can have every single month. And if you have more settings, like sending a volume of DMs, you can book in 400 calls a day. And I'm not bullshitting. You can actually book in 400 calls a month. And that is because if you're following up properly. It's very painful, right? It's very painful. Now, I know it's awkward when you send the 3rd, 4th, and 5th message, right? You're probably worried about being pushy, seeing as awkward, seeing as a spam. But here's the truth. Because people are busy, right? They're not ignoring you because they hate you. They just forgot to reply, right? And what follow-ups are, they show persistence, so you're not desperate. And yes, it is very, very painful. So that's why I delegate mine to my appointment setter, or you can have some sort of AI software do this for you. If you want one, I can hook you up with one. Send me a DM on Instagram. But if you do this manually, you'll learn the skill of discipline. You learn the skill of grit. You learn the skill of showing up every single day. And that is exactly what's required in business, right? Booking calls is literally an entire business. It teaches you the skills of running a business. And that's why I'm a huge advocate for, running some sort of free school community, because if you learn how to drive traffic, you can implement that in any business. Right. Now move on to the next step, which I don't know what I've even done here, but yeah, move on to the next step. So day 1, you want to send an outreach message. Hey man, love your post. Day 2, just checking if you sent my previous message. Day 3, just like another follow-up, just a quick tip that might help you. Day 4, just another question. I'm curious, what's your biggest goals? Day 5, just wanted to share a quick win. You send them some sort of testimonial. Day 7 is going to be one of your last follow-ups. Just make sure you didn't want to miss the opportunity to join a free lead magnet. And then day 7, I put together a video on XYZ. And if they watch it, they're just going to get nurtured. So your action steps are to set up that 7-day follow-up sequence. I want you to implement follow-up Friday. So block 2 hours out every Friday to follow up. And I want you to use the value bridge technique, which is for your 3rd and 5th follow-ups, always include some sort of screenshot or link to a valuable content. So that is the follow-up formula right there. Now let's go over the problem solution cycle, and the video lead magnet is the solution. So the problem solution cycle is when problems are solved and new problems are created. And now you need to decide on what valuable narrow problem you're going to solve and for who that is, right? So here's how you can solve the problem solution cycle time and time again. So you need to understand there are 3 types of lead magnets, right? First one's a problem review, then there's a free trial, and then there's a free step 1 of X. Okay, so the problem review is a think diagnosis. Works great for problems and gets worse while you want it. So for example, speed test of a website, Facebook ads audit, free home inspection. Free trial is like think a sample, right? So it's a limited amount of time and you can use whatever like they're selling. For example, 30-day SaaS trial, free back adjustment, free font size consumable. And then a free step 1 of X. So think one of many steps. So for example, a book that can help you make money, a free course, free templates. Now you can use this in your outreach. You can use these as lead magnets to help you convert these guys into like actual buyers. And that is the entire sales strategy, which can allow you to print $30,000 a month minimum every single month. Now, if you want additional help, go follow my Instagram. I give you valuable content, right? And go drop me a follow, go send me a message, and I'll send you some insane free resources. Peace out. This method, which I'm going to share with you, is going to allow you to cash collect $10,000 a month minimum in the next 14 days. And I don't care what you sell because this is proven at work. Okay, so let's go over day 5 of building a 7-figure business in just 7 days. So day 5 is scale. Now, again, like I said, this method is going to print you $10,000 a month no matter what you sell. Right, so let's go over the overview of what this happens. Right? As you can see, it's a free landing page there. One-time sale. As you can see, a bunch of money coming into my bank account. As you can see, my clients are getting insane results simply from just implementing this one thing. Now let's go over what this actually is. So first off, it's a 6-step process which is going to allow you to actually make this kind of money. And it's proof of like concept because people like Andrew Tate, Alex Samosi, Iman Ghazi are literally implementing this into their business. Okay, so step 1 is I want you to choose one big burning problem that your audience faces. Right? It could be lead generation, it could be sales psychology, it could be traffic. Right? If you don't know what that problem is, you can do it through Instagram story sequences. Right? You can run multi-format polls like over here. For example, which of these challenges keeps you up at night? Run of these for like a couple of days, and you'll get a better understanding of what your market wants. And then I want you to find the problem. Then I want you to outline 5 pillars or 5 steps which your audience can follow to get them from the current outcome to the desired outcome. So what exactly the problem is and how they can solve it through 5 different steps. Now, yes, keep it at 5, okay? Because I'm going to show you later in the video why it's just 5. And then I want you to set the price of this thing under $100 because it's a one-time purchase. So for example, mine could be like $67. It could be $39. Just set it at a specific price under $100. And that is step 1 out of the way. Let us move on to step 2. And step 2 is we're actually going to build up this thing. It's called a workshop and actually promote it. And we're going to be using Claude AI. So not ChatGPT, but Claude AI for the entire thing. And here's what it's going to run. So a hype sequence, a launch sequence, and then Instagram Reels plus YouTube video. So if you don't know how to run a hype sequence and a launch sequence, go watch my previous video on my YouTube video, which is going to go over the entire thing, and go check that out. Watch that, and then I will show you exactly how you have a better understanding, and you can use Claude, right? And then also for Instagram Reels plus YouTube videos, you basically want to set up some sort of ManyChat automation where people comment a specific keyword, right? And a trigger automation comes out and it sends them the link to that workshop, okay? That is building the entire thing up. Then you want to build the program out as well. So you want to use presentations, slideshows, use Claude AI to build the entire thing out, right? So day 1 all the way to day 5. Now we've got to build a landing page / funnel out so we can direct traffic to this and then actually get people to convert. So what I like to use Lovable. So you guys can see my screen over here. This is the exact landing page which I built out. And let me just wait. And this is like one of the best websites I've actually built out, and I built it in 10 minutes, right? Okay, 10 minutes. So add an extra 30K a month of our acquisition ecosystem. This is promoting my workshop as well. As you can see, got the VSO there. What you're going to achieve, as you can see, it's going over the benefits and not the features, what the investment is, what this changes, the transformation before and after, and as you can see, just client results at the bottom over here, and doors close in 2 days and 15 hours. So it's going to be like very urgent, but it's an amazing thing, right? So what I want you to do, I want you to use Lovable.app for this. I'm not sponsored by them, not affiliated by them. Use a Lovable.app, absolutely amazing software, can build amazing landing pages like these out for your business. And another example is this. This is just a website for my business, but it can build out like insane websites. Like, look at this. This was like in 10-15 minutes. All right, what we do, connect with us, right? As you can see, amazing transitions, animations going down. Meet the visionaries, as you can see, connect with us, client results. You go up, down, just like a couple client results. Here are key beliefs. As you can see, this is completely done by Lovable. It literally says down below, edit this with Lovable. So go to Lovable, build a landing page out, use the exact framework which I listed out for you, and you will be guaranteed to make money. Now, step 4 is once the page is built, I want you to deploy the story sequences, and I want you to do a mix of talking head story sequences and text-based story sequences. Now, you get an understanding of what I mean by all of this stuff if you watch my previous video on my channel. And again, running polls, running CTAs, using the timer feature, and you want to make sure you've built up a ton of hype, right? Now, here's how you do Instagram Reels. So you want to create the reel, amplify the pain in the reel, and have a CTA to DM you or comment the word workshop, and then get them onto a waitlist. So send them a link to the landing page, and they're going to buy the workshop. Now, step 5 is to run the workshop, and we're going to be hosting it on WAP. So I want you to take payments through WAP or fan basis simply because it's very convenient for you and the user. There's a low tax rate as well. And yeah, so you don't need to decorate the WAP too much because you've already the landing page is going to carry the thing anyway. Just have the VSL and the copy. I want you to host a 5-day workshop. Make sure you build the content out, record the entire workshop, and make sure you record it. So that way you can put the recordings in the classroom and then sell it later as well, some sort of commoditized service. And then step 6, this is where the real money is made, and this is through the high ticket ascension. So people can book in a one-to-one implementation call with you on day 6. So I want you to give them source for 30 minutes, right? And then for the next 30 minutes, just get them into your high ticket program, and they will buy because they've been nurtured. They like your content. They love what you showed in the workshop, and they're simply going to buy now. And this is the most underrated hack I've ever built up. And as you can see, Cobra Tate, Andrew Tate is a genius of this funnel. Iman Ghazi, right? Ty Lopez, these guys use this funnel, and you don't understand. You don't see the behind the scenes, but this is the exact funnel that makes them insane amounts of money. And now let's go down the flywheel. So here's the exact flywheel, right? So people invest in the workshop. It's going to become into sales, high ticket sales, right? You get traffic, whether it's organic or paid. Then you have a sales process, so it's a VSO landing page funnel. Then they go over they buy your paid product, and the entire thing repeats again. Or what they could do is they become affiliates now. So they become affiliates for your product and make money for you, right? While they over giving you money. And this is the exact firewall which you can deploy into this workshop to help you make insane amounts of money. Now, if you want help, set this workshop up one-to-one. I'm not going to say book in a call with you and none of that fancy shit. Go follow me on Instagram and send me a text and I'll help you out for free. So peace out. Welcome to day 6 of building a 7-figure business at just 16 years old. So in the first 5 days, we went over these few strategies. So we went over traffic generation, the funnel generation, then we got some sales through the door. We scaled the business using the workshop strategy, and now we're on building the entire team, right? Now, this isn't just some regular team like you see you hire a bunch of employees. No, it's way different than that. What this basically is leveraging AI employees in your business, creating AI agents to serve specific tasks, so that way you're never gonna need to hire an actual employee ever again. And this entire system runs for absolutely free, or even under $100 if you even have that kind of budget, right? So let's go over the AI agent. So this AI agent is gonna work for you in your business 24/7. And I'm telling you, I assure you, it's gonna replace your entire marketing team, because my entire marketing team has been replaced simply from this AI agent. Now the core problem you're probably stuck in is you're sending countless DMs, right? You're probably doing all the outbound yourself. You're sending even follow-ups, right? That's as low as it gets. You're literally sending follow-ups. You probably might even have a few setters working in your business, and you might even be doing manual client check-ins. And all of this, it's leading you to wasting endless time. And that's why you ask yourself, why can't I move the business forward? It's stuck in the exact same situation as it was 6 months ago. And it's simply because you're wasting your time doing low leverage activities. Now, the solution to this is the AI agent. And this works 24/7. Yes, you heard that right. It works 24/7 in your business. It moves the entire business forward and solves literally any problem in your entire business. I'll just change scenes because it's just much more clear. But as you can see, just some of the results which it's generating. Another low ticket deal this morning, 2 more sales today, so his cash collected values $3,000 in that day. Another one of my clients closing low ticket sales over DM simply from this AI agent, right? And I only want you to watch this video if you're making over $10,000 a month, because if you're on a 10K a month, it's not going to do much for you. Just keep working, keep hustling, okay? So now the first thing is, just remove this. So we're going to be using ChatGPT, right? So you're probably like be shocked, but with ChatGPT 5 coming out, with ChatGPT Plus, it's different. Right? This is not the old way of using ChatGPT where you just literally just type in a prompt and that's it. Right? We're actually going to build it out, and step 1, or like the entire one I want to show you, is literally the time consuming part. Step 2 onwards is the easy part. So first things first, I want you to get ChatGPT Plus. Literally, like if you get ChatGPT Plus, it's an absolute hack. The amount of things you can do in Plus is just absolutely wild. So get ChatGPT Plus. It's like $20 a month. This is nothing, right? Our next thing is on the sidebar, there's going to be an option for projects. You want to make a new project and you can name it whatever you want. For example, your business name. I just named it Success Dashboard. Just click on a new project. Now, step 3 is you want to give it instructions. So you want to give it instructions. So respond in English, be close, straight to the point, harsh with me, you're fueling me into my future beast. No soft shit, be hard and tough on me. Again, you can re-prompt it based on what exactly you want it to do. For my case, it was basically helping me grow as an individual, therefore helping my business grow as a reflection of that. Your case can be absolutely different. Now, step 4 is to add all the necessary files. So in these files is basically just like adding all the files like your offer, your niche, your ICP, your marketing message, your UVP, just things so that ChatGPT can get a better understanding of your entire business as a whole. And then that way, when it responds, it's going to be way more concise, way more straight to the point, and knows exactly what you're dealing with. Okay. Now, step 5 now is you can create multiple different chats inside of one dashboard. So here are the ones I recommend for your business. So first one is offer creation. Then you have a client dashboard. So in client dashboard, you manage all your clients. You have a content OS, a creative director, a marketing manager, and a lead scraper. If you have those 6 managers, those 6 AI agents inside that one dashboard, inside that one project, you're going to scale your business to the moon. And now finally, you want to put this prompt into ChatGPT. This prompt should be the first message you give into every one of these chats. And if you want the entire message to send over to you, go DM me on Instagram. I'll send you the entire prompt. Okay. Now, what you want to do is, this is for like basically yourself. This is like a live GPT. You want to put this into like a regular GPT chat and tell it to reverse engineer it to a marketing manager chat. And it's going to give you those prompts, right? It's going to be your main, and then you can easily translate it, right? Because you can put the exact same prompt in normal GPT chat and tell it to do it for a client dashboard bot that does XYZ, performs XYZ action. And if you can do it for all your bots, you're going to be printing so much money. You're going to be saving at least 5 hours every single day. And the bonus tip is, I want you to do this for every single one of your clients. Build a separate folder for each one of your clients. Create all the chats for them. Like these are the chats you build for them for each one of your clients. And then just share the folder. And this is by far the easiest way for you to get better client results, hands down. Okay. Now that is the AI agent done. Now let's go over how you can like replace your entire content team literally from AI. And I've done this exact same thing. I literally replaced my entire content team simply from AI. So again, it replaced editing, thumbnails, covers, and ideation. Right? It's very easy. And the platforms it creates content on is Instagram, Twitter. Like, it doesn't really matter, but it's going to create content on all the platforms. And Again, why should you trust me? Well, I've cash collected $15,000, helped my clients go past $30,000. So for video ideation, what you want to do is you want to leverage ChatGPT. So I've created a separate ChatGPT bot. This is a specific bot you can only build if you have ChatGPT Plus, called Content OS. Right? And it's basically just like a content bot. You want to program it enough to a point where it's going to give you really, really good information. So for example, you go down here, Content OS, description, creates Loom-style business content, focus on conversions and not just views. The videos you're watching right now is literally made by this Content OS. And then you give it instructions, and you want to generate instructions by putting this into like a regular ChatGPT chat. So I'm building a content bot for my YouTube content that helps entrepreneurs make $20K a month by scaling their sales teams. This is just an example, by the way, not my actual offer. And give me in-depth instructions to the bot so I can create content that scales and gets conversions rather than views. And make it in Google Doc format so I can prompt engineer it. And then I'm going to copy that exact prompt and put it in instructions. And again, just upload some offer documents, some niche documents, some UVP documents. So that way the chat has a better understanding of my business as a whole, therefore producing a better output of responses. Right. So the Content OS. Again, hit me up on Instagram if you want this, if you want me to send this over to you. Now, next thing is for video creation. So the Miro boards, like just creating the entire concept in general, you want to go over to DeepSeek. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to Content OS, find a really, really good idea, and tell ChatGPT to give you a really, really autistic breakdown of the entire idea and what's included inside the video. Then you want to copy that over to DeepSeek, and then you want to tell it at the end of that prompt. You generate me a flowchart for a YouTube video that is really, really detailed. And then you want to add the details of the YouTube video. And now it's going to create you that Miro board or the flowchart. And you basically want to like make this Miro board go live by going to Mermaid Live, pasting the code, and it's going to build you the entire flowchart. Now what happens from there is you can then take a reference from that, take inspiration from that, and then build that out of Miro or Figma, which is absolutely amazing. Now let's go for video editing. As you can see, this reel I'm just popping up right now. This is completely done by AI. Let's load. This is not like that. It's like, no, you just see content, the editing. So if you look at the editing, the captions and everything, all of that's done by AI. And if you go to my page, you'll probably see more of them, which is like decent editing. And if you go back to like my recent reel, this is not even me speaking. This is an AI clone of me. So this app has absolutely everything. And it's called Captions AI. If you want to be set up in your entire business, go hit me up. And also repurposing. So there's a feature on the app where you can repurpose long form content into short form content. And that is absolutely amazing. And now for thumbnails, you can use ChatGPT. So there's a really, really good prompt you can use for ChatGPT. And this is a secret prompt I only give away to my high level clients. But since you guys are watching this video, since you've made it to the end of the video, I'm going to give you that prompt for completely free on how you can generate thumbnails like these. This is the most basic one using ChatGPT. You don't even need the paid version. You can use ChatGPT 5, which come out, and you can use it in your business. You can use this for your YouTube videos. You can use it for absolutely anything. You can even use it for your clients. And now if you want access to that prompt, go hit me up on Instagram and I will send you that over to you. But other than that, this is the entire agent. This is the entire marketing team, which basically I don't need a marketing team. And the price of this is like $20 a month. And the $20 a month I'm paying is for ChatGPT. It's probably just a bit more than that. So let's say I pay yearly. So ChatGPT would be $200 a month. And this is software is $100 a month, $100 a year, $200 a year. For $300 a year. Yes, you heard that right, $300 a year. You can replace your entire marketing team. You can build AI agents like these. You can replace your entire content team, build content systems like these in your business for $300 a year, which is absolutely wild. Now, if you want an entire stack, if you want me to build this entire thing out for you, so you don't have to spend $300, you can just let me do it, and I'll manage all the back-end operations. Go hit me up on Instagram, and we'll literally build the entire thing out for you, right? And that's basically it for you guys. So I appreciate you guys watching the end of the video. Go hit me up on Instagram for a special surprise for making it to the end, and watch the video right here.